it's Coffee with Melanie. Thank you for tuning in to Wow, Woman of Wisdom. Make sure you tune in on Thursdays at 7 o'clock on 88.7 Cove FM. This show celebrates the voices of women through authentic, inspiring conversations and stories rooted in truth, resilience, and lived experience. Audience, if you're listening all over the world, as we are streaming on CoveFM.com, send us a message, and we are live right now on YouTube on Coffee with Melanie, or email us at studio@covefm.com. Okay, today I'm joined by Sherry Anne Crowe of Take Up Space on Purpose. It's a movement born from her own journey of replacing self-criticism with self-compassion through social media, events, creative work, and 2 self-love coloring books. Wow. She invites women to change the conversation that they have with themselves, celebrate rather than compare, and build a supportive community that empowers every woman to shine. So before we talk about Take Up Space on Purpose, who is Sherry Anne Crowe? I know that you're a speaker, a model, an actress, and inspire not only your community to take up space, but all of us women looking to shine. So who are you to the core?
Oh my, that's a big question, right? Oh, wow. I think I want to start that by saying I'm a mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a mom of 3. You know, my baby is 26 and my oldest is 34. I think I got that right. Calculating it in my head. He's not listening. And the middle child, he's 32, I believe. He's got a birthday coming up. When I remember the day, I'll say happy birthday to him, you know, that kind of things. But yeah, no, I'm a mom first. You know, I grew up in Halifax, you know, I was a wife. My husband passed away very young, at a young age. Yeah, he was.
And he had a birthday recently, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. And it was August 6th, and he. It was a journey. My journey started kind of way back then, but I didn't actually know my journey was starting, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you go through all of your life, and you're young, you have kids, you know, try to figure out life. And then you find the love of your life, and you get 10 years with him, and then he's gone, and then you have to figure out what life looks like after that.
Oh my God.
Right? And so the journey really of life for me has come from, you know, my career, my friends, myself, how I see myself, how I feel about myself. How I am with people. I'm an empath by nature, so I'm always emotional about things. Sometimes I'm very emotional, and sometimes I bottle it up, and you know, and the petty side comes out. But you know, like as you go through life, it's not this straight road.
No.
It's there's so many curves and turns. Yeah, and honestly, I didn't know what life was going to be like without my partner, my husband, you know, the father of my children. I really didn't know. And, you know, for many years I was very lost. I was just confused. I was not sure of who I was. Because, you know, when you lose a part of your identity, it's gone. In the physical sense, not in the spiritual sense, but still, there's still that person that's gone from your life. So life changed very quickly. And it was, you know, I'm a mom, single mom of 3. You know, my youngest was 8 at the time, right? And now you gotta regroup. You gotta figure this out. Like, what's the next move in life? And you know, I've made some crazy bad decisions along the way, and I made some really good decisions along the way. And for me, I think it really came down to looking at myself in the mirror and having conversations with myself and understanding where some of my pain comes from. And some of it is self-inflicted at the time, right?
I think we all do that. Yeah, like self-sabotage somehow.
Yeah.
It's like, how long am I supposed to grieve? How long can I be sad? When can I be happy? Also, you're in survival mode.
All the
with three
time.
kids.
All the time.
Like, what did you do?
I mean, I had a beautiful career at the time. I had a really understanding boss. I worked for this little small IT company.
Oh, wow.
And he was just the most amazing human being I've ever worked for. Shout out to Bruce McDougall, by the way. And he really worked with me with my situation with my husband. He was compassionate and he was caring, and it really helped me be able to focus on taking care of my husband. And then, that whole career shifted. I remember losing my job after my husband had passed away. The little company had gotten bought by a big company, and 4 years later, they didn't need me, and another part of my identity was lost again.
So did you have help? Did you have friends? Like, did you have family to support you in all of this?
I have some really, really great friends. I do. I have pockets of friends which I've gotten along the way in my journey of life, but like my core friends that I've had for a long time, they definitely were there. But I'm a person that doesn't like to put my pain on others as well, right? Like, I'm just like, I don't want to burden you with my problems. Let me figure this out myself,
I knew what was next.
Yeah, it was like they'd call and I'd be like, no, I'm fine. And, I'd probably been crying for 3 hours prior to, or I hang up the phone and start bawling because someone cared.
Yes.
Because when you lose someone, it's like people are around right away.
Yes.
And then a week later, after the service, everything just kind of goes away. Mm-hmm. And it's so important when people lose people for other people to really check in on them. Mm-hmm. Just a hello, how you doing?
But some people are actually afraid too. Like, what did they tell you? What did they say? Because that's happened to me once where I didn't know what to say. I didn't know, like I said, I'm sorry, it's condolences to your families, but it's like, should I be calling them up, or should, like, oh no, they're going to be okay. But I had my own fears.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How do you reach out? And then obviously the other person is like, they don't care about me. They don't, because you go through that motion in your head, right?
Well, it's a very emotional, that whole thing. It's an emotional time, right? Mm-hmm. And when I look back at it, I never judged anybody, because my core friends, my really best friends were there, mm-hmm. And it's really no one else's responsibility. But sometimes people don't have that safety net to fall into, and those are the people that you got to worry about, but my friends know me. They know that I'm tough as nails, and I never let them see me sweat, so to speak, and they would call, but I think they were nervous too, because I'm like, we got to handle this. I'm tough, and I got to show my kids that I'm tough, and we're going to make it through this. We're going to make it through this, and we got to keep our emotions in check, and it was just like a whole lot. So it was the first time really dealing with death so closely. Wow. And I guess in a way, it wasn't a sudden death, so it was time to prepare for it. You know what I mean? There was time. He was sick for 2 years. Yeah, he had cancer, and it was a rough time, but it was a preparation. But yeah, for me now, it's always about the children never forgetting him. My daughter was 8, so she was the youngest, and she still remembers stuff, which is great, because we never stopped talking about him. Mm-hmm. We never, not reference something that he would say with, some of his crazy sayings or something that he would do. And the two oldest, they too, to this day, there's not, probably every other day, there's a reference of his that we throw around. And I'm grateful that my daughter was old enough to remember how wonderful and amazing her father was. And then my sons were old enough. I knew that, but I was really concerned about my daughter and her losing those memories of what she had with her father. Mm-hmm. So every day we celebrate his birthday. We go to his resting place. We bring some wine or champagne. We all write cards or letters. And we gather, and my oldest sings happy birthday. We, sometimes we'll have cupcakes and cakes or whatever, depending on what's going on. And it's healing for us. It's healing. It hurts, but it heals. It's a bit of both because he's not here to celebrate with us, but we do honor him in so many ways. So I love that we continue this tradition to just remind my kids and myself of how wonderful life was, back then.
And he's in your heart forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever, yeah.
I mean, it must be, fond memories now when you go to a beach and you say, hey, I remember your father and I had a date on that beach, right?
Yeah, exactly. And there's things that my daughter likes to do that are so much her father, and my sons too, but my daughter specifically, she's this spitting image of her dad, but then with my personality as she gets older. And she keeps saying, she'll come down and she'll say something. She goes, my God, I sound just like you now. I didn't know I was ever going to get here. I was like, oh, that's not really a bad thing. She says, no, I just can't believe I'm the mini version of you. I'm like, well, if it helps you look like your dad, so there's that. Yes. And we crack up laughing and stuff. But yeah, so that's the big thing that happened in life. And then, like I said, with careers changing and just kind of a little bit of uncertainty and just trying to figure out life. And crazy story, actually. My life is almost a mirror image of what happened to me when I was a little girl. Oh. Yeah, my dad passed away when I was 8 as well. 8 or 9.
That gave me goosebumps.
Right.
Because my dad passed away when I was 7.
It's so crazy to me that internally I had been preparing all of my life in case something like this happened. Not because I thought it would happen, because I never thought my husband was going to pass away, before he was 40. Yeah. But because of what happened in my childhood, it made me fear my children having to experience what I experienced. And those days back then were, we're talking the 80s, right? And, I had to quit my job I had to quit school, at 15 to go work. So I never finished high school. I was a cleaner. We ended up at one point homeless. We had nowhere to live. So we were staying with relatives. And I made the decision, I'm going to quit school. And I'm going to get a job and we're going to get a place.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
You and I are so similar. I mean, because when we immigrated here, I was 12 and starting from scratch, leaving our home behind because, we needed to find another opportunity because our father died at 7 and I was the 6th child. And we had to leave. My sister left first and then we followed. But all the struggles, I know exactly what you mean. It's survival mode at that time.
Absolutely. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she didn't have a job or a career. So that's how things, started to, at a young age for me, I had to grow up really
fast,
really quickly.
Yeah.
And so when I started to grow up, yeah. Yes. It was, I would say 15.
Yeah.
15, and then life evolved.
Okay, we'll get to the next chapter of your life, but first we have our traffic with CoveFM. But I was just thinking before when you were talking about the grieving part and writing letters and everything, what an amazing book that would be. If you could write something about grieving with...
It's so healing for me. I just recently got asked a question by a friend of mine and asked me, do you find it healing or does it upset you? And I was like, no, it's actually very healing. I feel empowered. I feel loved. I feel all of these emotions that I felt when he was here physically, when I'm in that space. But there are days where I'm sad. When it leads up into those days, I'm sad. I might even be angry at some days.
Why did you leave me?
Like just, mad and not trying to figure out what the reason is. And I'll look at the date and I go, oh my God, okay, it's coming. The anniversary of his death, or, the anniversary or his birthday, or the anniversary of our anniversary. So it's like these 3 dates throughout the year leading into them. It's even if I'm not paying attention, it happens. I start to get upset inside for some reason. And then when I figure it out, I go, okay, this is it. And then I have to switch it, right? Because, you don't want to be upset all the time.
Yeah, you don't want to sit in that.
No, you can't want to sit in it.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that anyways. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about taking space. Like, how did that come about? Like, where did that come from?
You know what?
Because I only met you once.
I know.
At the show at Ladies' Nice at Detrellis, and then we had a brief meeting, and then I didn't know what happened to you. I was like, where is she? How can I get her on my show? I need to know more about her. How can I dive deep? And then Stacy was like, she's this, she's that, she's this incredible human being. Like, you need to have her on your show. And I was like, I want to find out.
Oh, shout out Stacy Mosher. You know what? I went through this crazy period of when I was getting ready to turn 50. I was just petrified. I was.
You're only 45.
I mean, yes. Sorry, I got that mixed up. Like when I turned 50, like I told it was during COVID.
Yeah.
And I was actually engaged at the time. I had met someone 10 years later, fell in love all over again. And we were engaged. We were together a few years. And then he just ended up not being the one for me. Anyways, we don't want to put any time on that. But that I ended that very quickly. And my life, I looked at my life and I'm like, where am I? What am I doing? What's going on? I'm like, I'm turning 50. I got more years behind me than I do ahead of me. And you go through all these things because you're aging, right? And I don't want to age. I don't want to age. When I was turning 50, I was like, no one say happy 50th birthday to me out loud. Like, and we had this private retreat for my birthday. It was a surprise party. It was beautiful, actually. Shout out to my friends. Love you guys. Right. And we have this party, and I'm telling them, I didn't know I was having the party, but my friends knew I did not want to turn 50, and I didn't want anybody to know I was turning 50. And then it was like 51, 52, and I started to think, man, I don't know what happened, but in my brain, something shifted where I started to like not give a crap about stuff. I was like, wait, I'm not stressing over this anymore. I'm not stressing over that. I had these moments where I realized that I was looking for love from people that didn't deserve me in their life. And
I hear you.
And that's friends, family, relationships. I was seeking that I'm a good person validation from people that didn't care that I was a good person. Right? They didn't care that I was pouring into them and they were giving me nothing back. And I just wanted to love. I'm a lover by nature. Yes. And I'm an empath, and I have all these emotions all the time.
Are you a savior too? Do you like to save people?
That would explain my last relationship. But it's true, right? Like I want to save the world, yes. Right?
But then you have to save yourself first.
Right. And the thing about it is there was a lot of things that I would say, but I really wasn't in my heart feeling that way for myself. I could give great advice and I could tell people how to love themselves and be better and do this and not worry about that. But deep down inside, I was still struggling with that. And I don't know if I was saying it out loud to convince myself. I mean, I knew I was saying it out loud for people because I wanted to inspire them and motivate them and help heal them. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure how it all started with that. And then one day I woke up, I grieved my husband. That's been an ongoing process. I grieved that last relationship that I was in. I grieved the loss of some friends that I thought I'd have in my life forever. I grieved that. I grieved family members that I no longer communicate with. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. The right people will find me. Mm-hmm. I have my core group, and the right people will find me. And I left this job. Oh my God, Melanie. I was in this crazy toxic job. It didn't start off toxic, but it ended very toxic. And I quit it. And in my entire life, I'd never thought I'd quit a job making six figures, being at the top of the food chain, but it was a men's group. It was, I was the outsider. I was a woman. I was a black woman. Oh. You know what I mean? And, but I was, I worked in Nova Scotia, but I worked for a company overseas. Okay. But the owner, he was just not, he had no ethics, right? No integrity. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot going on, and I had to remove myself. It became a very toxic work environment. And I had a team of people, the whole 9 yards. And I said to my team, listen, I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. If I can't take this any longer, why am I staying here? Why am I? And so I left. And when I left, my team left, and that brought me great joy because I was a manager of people, as well as, I worked in finance, but I was a manager of people here and a manager of people in Bermuda, and they all left, and that kind of gave me some pride because it kind of showed me that they valued me as a leader with them. And I took a year to just discover myself all over again, to fall in love with myself, to truly mean what I was saying to other people. Yeah. Because sometimes, the practice what you preach thing, exactly. I didn't always practice what I preached, but I'm going to fix you. Mm-hmm. I just can't fix me. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it evolved. It was a lot of meditation. It was a lot of getting real with myself. It was a lot of owning my own crap that I did that wasn't my best version of myself. But like when I'm not the best version of myself, it's because I wasn't truly in love with who I was, even though it appeared that way. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And you probably didn't have time to grieve the loss of your inner child. Because you just said you had to work at 15 and really you had to be a survivor. You had to be this masculine person and you had to look after everything, and you didn't really have that childhood time. Like my kids, I let them be children.
Yeah.
Like they're in their 20s, but they're like children.
Same. Shout out to my 3 kids.
When are you gonna move on?
When?
But you know what I mean? Like I let them like climb the trees. I let them be children because I never got it. And so do you think you honor that child?
I think so. I did everything the opposite that my mom did. I know that. And that was the plan. I never wanted to be my mom. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that I had this phenomenal mom. I was adopted. I was adopted. I actually had, adopted parents, who I knew, and I had biological parents who I knew. And my adopted mom, no, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I know family members might be listening, but my mom was a horrible mom to me. And there's so much more, but I won't get into it. But she wasn't
maternal, and maybe she was going through something herself, right?
Was she?
Maybe.
She was racist, but that's another story. So we just move on from that. But like, I still felt like this compassion to take care of her because she didn't know what to do when my father died. Like, she didn't really know what to do. And so then there was this like, grow up to like, okay, now you're the grown up and now you're going to take care of me. And I did. And I took care of her, and we weren't the best of friends. We didn't have a great relationship, but I made sure that she was taken care of until she passed, and it was like a weird situation when she passed. And I hope this doesn't sound cold or cruel, but it was almost like a relief. It was like a weight lifted off of my shoulders. And I hope that doesn't sound terrible, but that's how I felt. It's how I felt. Because of the history that we had, we didn't have a mother-daughter relationship. I was a caregiver. Caregiver. I took care of her, and that was my role. That was it, right? And so you move past that. I've had all this childhood trauma from my mother to this family member or that family member or these friends or whatever it is, and you just try to heal, but sometimes it takes years for that to happen, right?
Yeah.
And
you're going to continue working on it.
It is, because it's still like it's always very raw, really. Raw. And then and so you be the mom that you wish you had, right? And was I a perfect mom? Absolutely not. But was I the best mom that I could be based on who I was in those moments?
Yes.
Absolutely. And I know my kids know that I love them and how much I love them, and they are my world. Like that's my world right there. And you just, I don't know, you look at life differently when you have to reflect on how you got to 55 and you're still here. It's crazy, but take up space. It really started with me sharing my journey. I started to have this self-love journey. I'm like, wait, I'm going to do all these things that maybe I might have wanted to do back then. I started the modeling. I got into acting. I started to share my journey just as a woman, body positivity. I was 110 pounds all my life. No one would know it, but I was. Listen, I had babies. I gained 10 pounds with each pregnancy. Yeah. I wasn't a big girl. And all of a sudden.
Fabulous, by the way.
Thank you.
You're owning your body right now, girl.
And I think a lot of my lack of confidence was about my body changing. Right? I was gaining weight. I'm like looking different. I don't know how to dress for this body. I don't know, does this look good? I'm still trying to wear the clothes that I wore when I was 110 pounds. Do you know what I
mean? What? I was like, only one size fits?
I was like, oh, okay. No, I got to go up another 3 sizes, right? And the body positivity was the key for me. It was, what, girl? You got to own this. Mm-hmm. You got to love yourself. You got to, this is who you are. And why should I be missing out on things? Because of the way my body looks, because of the way someone may say something about my body. Someone has an opinion, or because I got cellulite or a big butt or a belly and back rolls. I'm saying I got it all. Yeah. You know what I mean? And why should I be missing out on life?
No.
I shouldn't. So I started that journey of self-love to inspire other women and to really inspire myself as I go on this journey, because I knew I wasn't alone, Melanie. Yes. Like I knew it wasn't just me. It's like we changed, right? Yes. And so the thing was, I didn't have the security of my husband, who had seen me in all different shapes and sizes and still loved me. I had me, and I was my biggest critic. And so when I just started on this journey, I was like, hey guys, you know what? I'm going to share what's happening right now. And it started, and I started to hear from more women that, they could see themselves in me when I would talk about things, like they could relate to it, they could understand it. And to this day, women still, they still say, like, I'm trying to get there. I wish I had your confidence. And I always have these conversations. I have so many private conversations in my DMs with women, because I don't want them to have to go through this part to get here. Like, this part is the messy part.
You're enough now. You're ready right
skip
now.
it. Go over here. Why are you saving your good clothes? What are you saving them for?
Yes.
The funeral? Like, what? No. I'm dressing up to go to the grocery store. Yes, I am. Right? I'm putting on the dress. I'm putting on the outfit, And fashion was always like a thing that I loved. Yes. And it was just like finding what looks good on my body. That was it. And some of us get stuck. We get stuck, right? It's like, oh, this always looks good on me.
I wear this.
Yeah, but I can't wear that. But listen, I wear crop tops. I do the whole thing. Oh yeah, my girlfriends, look, my little skinny girlfriends with no bellies, they don't wear them. But I put them on just for all of us.
I know. If you're tuning in now to WOW, it's Women of Wisdom with Coffee with Melanie on 88.7 Cove FM. Real talk, real stories, real strength. Together we rise. So I see this thing on Instagram, and I was doing my research, and there was one quote here. It says, "Sometimes a woman's dislike for another woman has nothing to do with her at all. Sometimes it's unhealed insecurity, comparison, pain, or lack of self-love being projected outward." And we just talked about that.
Yeah, it's true. It's not that I was that person, it's that I've experienced that from
I was
other
that
people.
person too. Yeah, I can own up to that. Like, 'cause I remember being that.
I
Probably
don't,
in my 30s, just like,
no, you know what? It's crazy. I don't think I can say that there's a time that I felt like towards women. I don't. But what I can say is I definitely know that it's definitely been something that has happened to me
yes, really.
from other women.
Okay. That
Um,
happens to me all the time.
mm,
And I still get DMs for no reason from family members. And it's like, why can't you just let me be? I'm trying to celebrate my inner child. I'm, actually reaching out not to them, but to me.
Yeah.
It's me that I'm trying to fix, that I'm trying to become older, because I'm stuck in this inner child hurt, and I want to grow up to adulthood, but I don't really
Do we?
want. No, I don't really want to.
No, we
but
don't.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
I feel like I'm having the most fun
Right
of my
now,
life
right?
since I turned 50, got over the hump of turning 50, and accepted that I'm 50-ish and going to be older every year. I've accepted that. And because I've accepted it and I know who I am now, I'm grounded in who I am as a person. It's it's like a weight off my shoulders. It's like I don't have to go into the world and pretend to be somebody. This is who you're getting. And if you love me, then you love me. And if you don't, so be it. That's not my problem. And when we go back to that saying, the reason I know that is because I've been told that by other people. I've had women come up to me and say, "Oh my God, they won't tell me who." And I don't care. Right? So people sit around, women are talking about you, like they smile in your face.
That's flattering.
They smile in your face. It is, because I know I'm on their minds, right? But they smile in your face and they hug you, but they're stabbing you in the back the whole time. And I remember being in this at this event, and a young lady came up and said this to me. She's adorable. She loves me. She's and we've known each other for a while. And she hugged me and she goes, "I just want you to know there's a lot of women." She said, "And some of them are in here tonight who are hugging you and smiling in your face. But I just was in a room where they were talking about you and it wasn't even nice. Who does she think she is? Oh, she thinks she's all that. Oh, that kind of lingo." And for me, I know that that's got nothing to do with me.
Right.
Because I'm trying, and you know what I said to her?
Yeah.
I said, "You know what? Well, I hope they continue to follow me so that they can understand, they can change their thought process.
Yeah.
And then they can learn to love themselves as much as I love myself." Because some people don't like a woman loving themselves.
No.
It gives it
not.
too much confidence.
Yes.
And they'll say it's arrogance. It's not arrogance. I'm just a confident woman now. And it's not.
If a man does it,
Oh.
like, he's cool.
He's cool, yeah.
He's happening. He's cool. But when we do it, it's like, why is she dressing this way? Why is she wearing a thong? Like, why?
Why not?
That's me. I know you guys follow me and watch my thongs, like,
Hey, you know what? We got it. Like I said, at this point, I have no shame. There's no shame in my game, as the saying goes.
I love that.
No shame in my game. It's life is what it is. And so for when women are sitting and they're comparing themselves and they're doing these things that are really detrimental to their own mental space, you go admire someone, or just don't.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because through this journey, what I've learned is vulnerability is a part of going through changes of life. And because I share my vulnerability, I know that there's women that connect with it, because I'm not the only person who's gone through this. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but in the symptom, so to speak, right? And I know that because I have these conversations with women that are private, and we share things, and we talk about things, and it's I think I actually love that part the most. When you talk about want to save people,
Yes.
I do want to save people from themselves, from their own thoughts, for anything negative, because there's beauty in every single person. And sometimes it takes a shift of people and who you're around to really change a mindset. So if you're someone who's around this group that is constantly, I'm not this, or they're gossipers and they talk crap and everything's negative when you're around them. And then, how can you believe that you can be more than what the discussion is if you don't have anything? If you don't have another group of women or another woman or someone else, right? So for me, I'm very big on different groups of friends.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer. And if friends are mad that you have other friends, they're not your friends.
Exactly.
Right? My best friends, they know where they stand with me, and these friends over here know where they stand with me, and these friends over here. And some of them have met and some of them have never met. I say names, they know who each other is. I was out with Stacy, or I was out with Bridget, or Candy, Dana, Bridget, Temple, Michelle, whatever, who it is, Giselle, and I also have different age groups of friends.
Yes.
Right? So when I look and I see women that are like my best friends, my very best friend is 10 years older than me. Yeah. And she looks way younger than me. I just want you to know. She's so beautiful. But so I learn from my older friends. And I think I bring this life into them and force them. They're constantly like, we're 65, we're not 55. And I'm like, oh, whatever, stop it. Like, come on, we're going to go do this. And I get them to do crazy stuff, zip lining and Costa Rica and horseback riding. And they regret it afterwards, right? But they do it because, come on, because I'm that person, right? You're going to love it, you're going to love it. Sometimes they love it. And sometimes they're like, okay, I'm glad I did, but I don't want to ever do that again. Right? So it's that. So I feel like there's like such a good balance in my life with the groups of friends that I have. If I want to talk business, I have business friends. If I want to talk, crap about men, everybody will talk about that. But but if you're having problems with your kids or whatever. I mean, my sister, she lives in Ottawa. Her name is Sharissa. Hi, Shy. I don't get to see her often, but and she's busy and I'm busy. But when we talk, it's like, boom, right? We're trying to get all this stuff, and then we have another catch up. And so sometimes relationships are like that. Friendships are like that. Some friends I talk to every day. Sometimes friends I talk to months. It takes months. You know what I mean? And I have another friend, her name's Wanda. And we live pretty close. And, she'll call me out the blue. We haven't spoken. I just want to tell you I love you. How you doing? Those kinds of friendships are so important. Yes. Besides the friends that you hang with every day. Yes. And so taking up space on purpose became this saying that I would say, we got to go in places and take up space on purpose. Like, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to go in with our head held high. We got to go in with confidence. We got to go places and do things that maybe we wouldn't normally do. Yes. And
are you going to that thing? At the Chester house?
What is it?
With the artist, with the different artist?
No, which one? The one that I'm promoting?
Yeah, the one that you're promoting.
I was like, which one are you talking about?
I wanted you to promote
the summer.
Yes.
Summer sunset concert.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You know I'm going, right?
Yes, I know. Stacey told me. Yes. Use the code TUS take up space OP30 and get 30% off of your VIP tickets only. Because if you're coming with me, we travel VIP, baby.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's what she said, VIP.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This, and now things are, it's funny because even that relationship was just something kind of happened in the DMs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like a friend of mine, Malika, she connected me with this promoter and we've started talking and then all of a sudden, like I feel like I've just got this great friendship with this person, right? And and I just really, I'm a big promoter of things that happen in the community, things that are going on. My stories are always full of stuff.
Yes.
No,
I love it.
And I love music.
Yes, me too.
It fuels my soul.
I can't wait to see Jamila. Oh, let's get back to that in 1 second, but it's community calendar right now with 88.7 Cove FM. And we're back with Sherry Anne Crowe. I love that. So now you're saying you're going to tell us what is Take Up Space on Purpose. What is it all about?
It's really building a community of women that self-love is at the core of who they are. So whether they're going through that journey, whether they're already there, it really started with, like again, with myself in the journey, and then seeing the impact of me sharing very personal things and understanding that every woman, all of us women, we go through some stuff. I think, our stories are always different than men's, and men go through stuff, but like women. And for me, it started with I'm going to talk about the over 50. And then all of a sudden, I had 40-year-olds and 30-year-olds and 20-year-olds. And so now, to me, it's like a movement. It's let's build this community of women who can support, and the foundation is self-love. It's so empowering when you love yourself, because I can then love you, and I can help teach you. I can show you what that really looks like when you're struggling with it, or you have a problem. It's not about let's have these negative talks back and forth. It's about honestly showing up for yourself and showing up for other women that maybe don't even have someone. So
and being vulnerable.
Yeah, and social media
and not being afraid to be vulnerable.
Not afraid at all. Like I don't fear judgment anymore. I lived a whole life of fearing judgment. Even when I started to, when you post on social media, it's like everyone's going to be like, ew, like, what's she talking about? Or you get the ick, right? Like it's going to be icky. You're going to get one like, right? And it's like, do I keep doing this? But I knew it was bigger than me. Yeah. I knew that. I knew it. I went into it. I knew it. And I was like, when I share this, if it impacts one woman, I'm going to feel like it was worth it. And I'll take all the ick there is around it. If one woman comes out with her head held high and say, you've inspired me to go on my own self-love journey, and so I keep saying I'm building a community of women. It's not a community in my community. It's a community of women. So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in this country or another country. It's about, because the thing about women is when we love each other, we're so powerful.
It's so true.
We're so powerful. Like there's nothing we can't do. When you speak my name in a room, like thank you. Because I speak names in rooms and I don't even tell people I'm speaking their name. I know they've gotten opportunities because I've given their name to somebody. You know what I mean? When someone speaks my name in a room and I know it, I'm the first one to shout it from the rooftops. Because a lot of moving pieces in my life right now, there's people that have contributed to that, and I'm grateful for everyone that's been on this journey with me. And maybe I'm not with those people anymore, and those people are here and I'm over here, and it's okay that people move on. It's okay that sometimes you leave a space that no longer provides that positive environment that you need, or you've outgrown it, or whatever that is, whatever that looks like to people. It's okay to leave spaces. That's the thing. And I think people get stuck on that, and they think they gotta stay here, and I gotta stay with these friends, and I gotta stay in this job, and I gotta stay in this house, and I gotta stay in this country, and we get all caught up on that, and I think when we grew up, in my time anyways, it was, if you got a government job, you stayed in that until you died. You get your pension, and then you rock in a rocking chair, and then you know what? You die, right? Now for me, it's like, no, because older people now are not older people. They are living their best lives without a care in the world, and the more that we can connect as women, the more that we can rely on each other, the more that we can speak life into each other, the more that we can share our stories, because your story will connect with her, might not connect with me the story itself, but I bet something about that story connects. So there's this big, I picture it as I don't know how what's the thing I'm looking for? Like a board that lights up. Maybe a plane. The airplane boards where all the airplanes are. You know what I'm talking?
Oh,
Where you get all the lights.
what are those called?
I don't know what the heck it's called. I don't know. But it's like looking at a board and it's like boom, doom, 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 and it's like lights up and. Lights at Christmas. It's always happy. You love seeing the Christmas. That's how I feel about when women start connecting with each other and they start empowering each other and they start bringing each other along on journeys and just uplifting each other. It's so important.
Where can we find you, and where do these ladies congregate? Because I want to be there. I know Stacey's always inviting me, but I'm always working or doing something.
Shout out to the Nova Scotia Model Collective, Kisa and Stacey.
They're coming soon.
They're coming soon. Yeah. For me, I'm always sharing where I'm at and what I'm doing and what's going on. It's like this concert. I jumped on board with collabing with them because I felt like it's something that maybe people wouldn't do. Mm-hmm. It's something I would do.
Yeah, I thought it was for young people, and that's when Stacey said to me, "Oh, come!" And I looked it up, and I was like, "I think it's just for young people." And then I said to my husband's like, "I want to go," and he's 10 years older than me. I'm like, "Okay, if you want to go, let's go." And my daughter's like, "If I'm not working, I want to go." I'm like, "Okay, everybody's going now, the whole family."
Yeah, well, that's great.
Yeah.
And it's. I was like, you know what? I love this. And this is because they were having a bus that was driving to and from the venue. I thought, well,
so it's a house concert, really.
Yeah, it's a
beautiful venue.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait to see
oh my gosh. Anybody that's a content creator is going to love this space, right? And the idea just was like, you know what? If I can get how many people does the bus hold? And she was like 40. I was like, okay.
Oh.
If you give me a code, I'm going to see if I can fill this bus.
Yes.
Right? And she goes, seriously? And I was like, yeah. So we talked about it, right? What did that look like? And so that's why I put it out in. And because it was like me and my friends are already going. Yeah. But hey, there's this community of women, the take up space community, who maybe want to experience this too. And lo and behold, the ticket that people are saying, I'm coming. And some of these people I've never met, only on social media, we talk or comment or whatever, but they're following the journey, right? And so I love that for us because I love that there's going to be all of these different groups and pockets of women that now are going to get the chance to connect, and maybe some new friendships are formed. Maybe some business relationships get built. And maybe
I'm going to get some women of wisdom in there.
Maybe some women of wisdom will be on the bus. Yeah. So it just was a no-brainer for me. So yeah, I'm promoting it heavy. Because I want the bus full, right? And it's, I do things, when I do promote stuff, it's stuff that I really truly believe in, and I lead with integrity, I lead with intent, and I lead with the impact, all of those things in mind. And I feel like this would be a great impact for women who don't really kind of get out their own way. Yeah. Just come and be might be uncomfortable. I don't know anybody, but come. Yeah. Come, that's how you meet people. Exactly. Right? Yeah. And I don't know, Melanie, I know you're like me, like we see somebody's over on the corner by themselves, we're going to go grab them. Like, what are you doing? Come on, get over here, so, right. And, the community, so now I'm moving into, now it's become my brand. Mm-hmm. It's part of who I am, my brand. I live it, I breathe it, it's real. And so now I'm working on products that are experiences.
What are these products? Is this a new thing?
Yes, it's not out there yet.
To talk about it. It's okay. It's still hush hush.
It's. I'm working on. People get a T-shirt. No, I just don't want you to have a T-shirt. I want you to have an experience.
Yes.
So anything and everything that I sell, I take a portion and I donate to a community charity. When I started Take Up Space on Purpose, I put that out there and I told everybody because I had my coloring books that I had been selling, and then I did some fundraiser. I just did little events of fundraiser. I had the Mother's Day luxury giveaway where I had sponsors. But when it comes to me selling things, there's always going to be a portion that goes back to a community space that needs it. So that's why, and I've been able to do that. As Souls Harbor was my first space that I donated to, and then it was the Rise program, which is under Elizabeth Fry. I donated to them on my second coloring book that was created. Shout out to Leslie Carfrey, who who created my coloring books. Also my cousin.
Oh, really? I need an illustrator. I'm still looking for one.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can link you guys up. So it's like, it's those things. It's about giving back. It's about giving, right? And so, so I'm designing these things that give people, I don't want people to just buy a t-shirt that says take up space on purpose. I want someone to buy something, have an experience, and have an emotional connection to what they're doing, what they're wearing, what they have, what they've bought. There's got to be something too, because take up space on purpose is about an emotional connection to yourself. Right?
I love it. That's powerful.
Yeah. So
can we just, do you have a website? Do you have,
Nope.
Are you just on Instagram? You're social media right now.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Oh God, that's where my people are. I love you, Facebook people.
I know, I saw that on Facebook. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I love my people on
Under
Facebook.
Sherry Anne Crowe.
Yeah, same name right across the board. And
You are the brand. Yes.
but
And
the
you
brand is
lived
me
it.
now, right?
Yeah.
I am the brand. The brand is me, but now it's getting bigger than that. And so, like, now I'm looking towards the future of how we build this, how I put on my own retreats, how I have my own
Can we
women's
do
circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we do a retreat in the Philippines?
We can. You'd have to lead it.
Absolutely.
Of course.
I still wanted to rave on an island. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a DJ, and she's like, yeah, let's set it up. It's like, oh, there's a lot of moving parts now. It's got to be like a 5-year plan or something.
A rave on an island?
Hopping, like a rave
A
on an
rave?
island.
A rave on an island. Well, be safe.
Well, it's going to be safe, hopefully. I don't know. Well, thank you, Sherry, for joining us this evening. And that's where I was going to ask, just on Instagram, on Facebook? That's
Yeah, I'm working on getting a website up and working with some designers and production teams and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I really am working towards doing a ladies retreat coming up, but before the end of this year.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on behind the scenes people don't see. Plus, I'm like on social media, posting crazy.
And you're on, Coffee with Melanie.
And
Hello.
this is my first radio interview, and I am so happy it is with you, Melanie. I love you so much. You have the best energy. I swear. No, we instantly connected when we met, and I love sharing energy like this. No, seriously, because look, there's room for all of us, right? There's room for all of us.
You're probably like, what? Who is
No, I was like, leopard. Why do you think I wore leopard print today? I thought you were gonna come in leopard print. I won't lie, right? I was like, I put my leopard print on because I know Melani's gonna be in leopard print. Not today, but no.
But I was gonna ask you, if you were a flower, what would you be and why?
I think I love roses and I love lilacs. So those are my two favorites. Every woman loves roses, right? But I love roses.
Who doesn't love roses?
And it's because of the multiple types of colors that they come in.
And the smell.
And the smell and the beauty of them, because they're beautiful. Even when they're dying, they're beautiful.
It's true when they're
And lilacs, I just love them because I love the smell of lilac flowers, but nothing else lilac. Go figure. Don't know.
I like lavender because you can dry them too. Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm into gardening right now, so I love.
Well, could you come out to my place? Because I got a lot of weeds happening. Please.
I'm giving a tap on the shoulder.
Okay.
Okay, it's Coffee with Melanie, and make sure you tune in on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. Wow, Women of Wisdom on 88.7 CoveFM.
Cheers. That was an hour? I think I needed 2.
8 o'clock.
You said an hour. I was like, what am I going to talk about? And I was like, oh, okay, just shoot. Did you even get through your questions?
Yeah, no, I had every single one. I know you're going to talk for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so when you're starting to and then I didn't really have to prompt you because you were awesome. You were just like,
Girl, let me tell my story. Let me tell my story.
Oh, yeah.
That was so fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It was fun. I would love to be hosting radio shows. Oh my God.
No wonder you do this.